Better call in a chiropractor because Denji got his back blown out, literally. I'm Manny.
Wow. I'm Frank.
I'm gonna need that chiropractor too. I'm Joseph.
And today, we'll be reviewing the Chainsaw Man Reze arc movie. And, of course, non-spoiler first, this movie's a 10 out of 10. This will not be in my top 5 movies because it's a 10 out of 10 in its own right in anime movies. And I hope that literal sentence made as much sense as it did in my head. Denji, it's like looking in a mirror, my friend, except I'm not that simpy. Let me just point that out there. This is...
Speak for yourself.
And this is, in my opinion...
Yeah, obviously.
He's 16. I was different at 16, too. We were the same guy.
Not that different. Not that different for me.
Pull my string and a chainsaw comes out. You'll find out. Either way, this story.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. You don't get enough problems with being that clever. That was crazy. That was crazy, bro.
Wow. This story. I love this story. I'm not a romance type of guy. I don't like that in my anime. I don't like, love stories or anything like that. But dang, man. Did I tug on some heartstrings for my boy Denji? Bro, this movie is sad. It is explosive, literally. And the moments in the movie is like so slow in the beginning. I could understand if you fall asleep in the beginning of the movie. I completely understand.
I wanted to.
When somebody bites something that they're not supposed to bite, from there on, gas.
Yeah, for me, bro, I'm gonna have to give it a 10 out of 10 too. Same reason that Manny said.
Wheezing.
Yeah, wheezing. Shut up. I thought you didn't hear it. I thought I only said it in my brain and didn't say it outside. Anyway, I give it a 10 out of 10 in its own right. If I had to compare it to other movies, I'd probably give it like an 8, to be honest. 8.
Yeah, I agree. With that.
It would be slightly less than The Predator just because I'm more of an action-leaning guy and the story isn't that compelling to carry, right? But, like, I cannot say it could have been better. In my personal opinion, I don't think that movie could have been better. Like, based off what they had. Short and sweet and to the point. The story was well laid out. And once it, like Manny said, once it started, right? Manny has a crazy take about it, which I still don't know if I agree. But based off my rating, maybe, I guess. But I don't think I agree.
Wait till we get into the spoiler if you want to know what I said.
Wait. But, the beginning was very slow, yes, but understandable. A lot of weird parts, but I try to look past those. And I wasn't expecting it to be that weird. Because the only reason I held out was because Manny said, man, you got to wait for it. It gets fire. I was like, all right, bet I'll do that. Right? It was a little bit uncomfortable, but hey, whatever. Right, I'm in there. The fights, amazing. Like, animation, I mean, this show always animates amazing. Like, I always compare this to Jujutsu Kaisen, but Chainsaw Man does it better. Chainsaw Man does the animation for that similar art style better than Jujutsu Kaisen does. I like how it's so artistic in some aspects, but also practical in other ones, and they kind of switch back and forth. And man, I gotta tell you, like, it really is to me the fights, but once they connect the story with it, especially the beginning and the end, I like to dabble in romance animes from time to time, mostly for the slice of life aspect. Not really the romance part. I don't really care about the romance part that much. But I like the reality of it, wholesome reality of it. But man, this was far from wholesome, but very real. And I feel like his character, even though it doesn't develop well, you can tell it has an effect on him. And I think that's great for his character, especially the people around him. So I think, yeah, that's my take.
So as me, myself, being a recently acquired fan of Chainsaw Man.
Very recent.
Very recently.
Because if we have to talk about how recent, 72 hours within that time frame? A lot of binging of Chainsaw Man happened so I could be present and actually contribute to this episode. And I'm gonna lie, I watched this movie damn near at 11 o'clock at night. After working a full shift training new people at work. I was tired.
I do not know how you did.
And honestly, to Frank's point, how did I do that? I could still give this movie a 10 out of 10, especially as an anime movie. Yes, the parts in the beginning of the movie were slow, but they weren't slow without merit. In terms of certain tones that you don't really get in anime, especially major mainstream anime, whether it be the sense of like the romance tones, the slow, subtle buildup of just their slice of life moments in the craziness that their world is. Because the whole action between like Devil Hunter, all that stuff, the powers, and how just ludicrous the animation can be.
Ludicrous is a good word to say.
It's beautiful to see how grounded they could have the human interaction within Chainsaw Man be. And to Frank's point, maybe some of the weird moments to me, or to Frank, to take that extra like semi-risk of just getting a little too weird, because I'm thinking you're thinking about this moment.
He's thinking about the pool.
It's a pretty obvious moment.
Yeah.
Pretty obvious.
He's thinking,
which I'm just like,
he's thinking of,
why am I here watching this?
Is it 2 moments? Is it 2 moments? Okay, so it's the pool and then the dream.
Yeah.
It's
I think the dream was worse.
No, the dream was really crazy.
I think the dream was worse.
It's like those unspoken moments that we probably have as individuals that we don't necessarily talk about that goes on in the back of your head. And to see that kind of being brought up to the forefront sometimes in media, to me, that kind of just speaks volumes in a way of just like, yeah, that's weird. Like, seeing it out loud, you're just like, it's weird. But if you think back on yourself, you're just like, I can't lie. I've had those moments before. It just happens. I'm human.
It's not even that. It's like he's a 16-year-old kid. But that's the part that makes it a little weird, that to show certain ones. But him thinking like that makes sense, at least. That's why I didn't go. Yeah, that's why at least it made sense.
And like I said, it's a beautifully animated movie. At certain points, especially with the action, and I don't know if it's because I was tired, because I was exhausted, or sometimes things kind of flowed in a way that I was just like, what just happened? And then next scene happened, and I was like, okay, I guess that's what happened. Because there was colors, and then I was just like, I know I'm not on acid.
No, I was following the whole thing.
The colors were real.
I was following the whole thing.
But either which way, beautifully animated movie.
My eyes were trained.
You're different.
It's a beautifully animated movie in terms of anime movies in general. And the realm of like Studio Ghibli movies, like I would put it up there. Like bottom tier Studio Ghibli. In terms of anime movies in general, in generality, this is in the upper echelon. It's going up there.
Yeah, and a lower tier of Studio Ghibli. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Is it time?
Good to the point.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. That was your warning.
You're different. You're different.
That was your warning that the spoilers will begin. In 3, 2, 1.
Say it. Just say it. Just get over it and say it. Just say it. Crazy take, but say it.
Am I wrong to say, and answer this down in the comments right now, if you're a fan, right now, don't think about it, just do it. This movie was better than Infinity Castle Part 1. I don't care. It was better.
It was.
Thank you.
Without a doubt, it is 100,000% better.
Demon Slayer is carried by its freaking animation. We won't get into that argument. We'll say that for another day because we're talking about Chainsaw Man and this movie was better. Let me point this out to you right now. The reason I said me and Denji are the same because I would have fell for it. I'm just being honest. I would have fell for it.
Speak for yourself, bro.
Brother, 16-year-old me would have fell for that crap. 25-year-old me would have not. But 16-year-old me was a different animal. And he would have fell for it. He would have fallen to the predator's prey. That's what I gotta say. Like, my tongue would have been gone. Like, it would have been cooked. I would have gotten blown to smithereens.
Yeah, I can't say I agree with it being better than Demon Slayer. I'm not gonna lie, but I can see why you say that. The reason why is because I couldn't connect emotionally with Chainsaw Man. Honestly, that's just really the only reason.
I think it's because of the weird stuff.
It's not just because of the weird stuff. It's just I can't relate to him because I've never been that simpy before in my life, bro. But I can understand and like be empathetic. I'm just like, I mean, hey, he was homeless with no food.
Whoa.
What?
Wait. True.
16-year-old. Wait, are we talking about 16-year-old Frank?
Yes.
Yeah. No. Wait. Stop. Let's reel this in. First off, what emotional connection do you have with Demon Slayer? 2, do you not have feelings?
I do have feelings, but
no, he doesn't. He does. No, you don't.
Hey, you say, you're not a robot.
Have you never fallen in love?
Not really.
Yeah. No.
Not at 16. Not at 16.
Ring. It's a ring.
Not at 16. Not at 16. Not at 16. We're talking about 16. I will never bet to I was never at the level of that simplicity. All right. at some point in that interaction, simplicity. All right? I'm going with a new word to describe this man. He got his own word. I would never have been to that level of because at some point, I would have knew something was up. All right? Because because in my mind, I'm already like, he's
capping.
I'm not capping.
I'm not Wait
capping.
a minute.
No. Shut up. You need a hug. You need a hug so you could admit this. If we had to describe this movie, right, after Denji lost his tongue, Frank is Denji, Manny is the shark.
No,
that's actually funny.
In that moment, it's a metaphor.
No.
It's actually the other way around, though. Manny will be caught like that, and I would save him.
Let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now. You know who I am?
And I would be
you know who I am? You know who I am in that movie? I'm the pink-haired chick, because I would have done it too.
Pink hair?
Makima?
She has red hair.
It's pink.
Pink, red.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
We're talking about feelings.
Let's talk about animation.
I got you. So anyway, emotions aside, and like the story, whatever, I understand he's a 16-year-old kid, had no love in his life, so he looks for it in other people that give him any type of
satisfaction.
Attention. Any type of attention at all. If they remembered his name, he's in there. That's why I said I actually had love in my life, so I wouldn't be that gullible. I'm sorry to say. I feel bad for him because that's the truth. That's how, like these in other countries, these kids that don't know love and live on the streets get taken advantage of by these people, right? That's literally what his story is, that of someone that was basically human trafficked. That's what I'm going to say, right? And got a little bit of, I'm not going to lie.
He's not wrong.
It's true.
No, he's not wrong.
That's why I can't relate. But I can feel for him. I'm just like, that sucks, right? That sucks. And I was emotional to the point like, okay, yeah, that sucks. But I would never be caught in that position because I was raised with love. You feel me? Like I was raised in a stable environment, mother and a father. So that's why I can't relate. I relate more to Demon Slayer because of.
You had your family slaughtered?
No.
You have a sister?
No.
You fell in love? You fell in love?
I can actually imagine myself in that situation where I'm fighting my demons with kindness, right?
Yeah, you're cooked.
I can actually. How am I cooked? All right, whatever. Disagree to disagree. Regardless, I don't think it's better than Demon Slayer for me personally. I can understand why you would say that the animation is good. Looking at it objectively, it is better, but personally for me, it's not. Right? I'm gonna just leave it at that. The animation was insane. I'm moving crazy forward, but when you see an animation and this girl is snapping and you see it in slow motion as it's sparking up, you got me. That was crazy. And all I'm thinking while they're fighting the Typhoon Lagoon baby, like I'm over here like the Typhoon Lagoon baby, Hurricane wah. Like I'm over here like this is insane. Like this man's destroying a whole city. And he's riding a demon shark on its intestines. That was basically My Hero mixed with Devil May Cry at that point.
Yeah.
That's literally what that was. That's literally what it was. We're like facts, right? And yeah, like that was crazy. And like I said, the story where like literally at the end, she actually like falls for him, but she ends up dying anyways. And like basically his man's never gonna find love in his life at that point. Like he's already cooked.
What do you mean? He can find love, bro.
He's not gonna find love. We both know he doesn't, bro.
He can find love, bro.
Not mutual love. How about that?
That's a better word.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, y'all say something. I'm done.
Well, after so much editing, the beginning parts of this movie, I understand why it is so slow. I do give it, that is one of my negatives of it, is the fact that it's way too slow for me. But I can understand if somebody likes that build up. You know what I'm saying? For me, the reason why I love this movie, and I give this movie a 10 out of 10, is I love when an anime makes me change the way I look at it. And if you watch Chainsaw Man Season 1, it's very sarcastic, very fun. There isn't much emotional story behind it. Obviously, Deji's backstory is extremely sad. There's not a lot of, and obviously when the chick with the band with the eye patch, gives her. I always found this anime to be a little like I said before, funny, sarcastic, not to be taken too seriously. Action, the story's But this movie made me change exactly the way I hope the rest of the anime goes. And that's so, like, if it tugged on the heartstrings, dude, it didn't make me cry by any chance, but it made me feel bad for the MC. And it made me go into the story and go, like, yo, this ain't a little quirky, this ain't a little quirky shonen thing where he becomes strong and all this stuff. Yeah, could he become stronger? Heck yeah. You know, all that stuff could happen. But, like, at the end of the day, this is a dude that, like, literally was just taken advantage of. And then he basically changed the villain of the story, and the villain ended up loving him and was willing to run away with him. And right at the moment where you're gonna get that, like, that moment of them coming back together, it just all comes crashing down by the supposed protagonist that up to this point you considered a protagonist as well. And let me just say something. The angel dude, that man's cold. That man's cold, bruh. He did exactly what the pink-haired chick said. He just said, yank, jank. And I was just like, wow, this guy has no heart.
Nah. I was just like, bro, where was this before? Man's lazy. He might could have stopped the whole fight from the jump. No cap.
He could have cooked her in 2 seconds. But, like,
for real.
I understand why. I think more into season 2, we're probably gonna understand why he didn't intervene. But I love the fact that this movie also plays into its side characters very well. I love how everybody connects back to the main thing that's going on, and it's really good. I love the future guy. I forgot what his name was. The future guy. He has his own story. What?
Aki.
We'll go with Aki.
Fushiguro.
Isn't that JJK?
That's from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, I know it is. Same person.
Oh yeah, basically. Essentially. Yeah, no, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. I love how that guy has his own side story with the angel guy, that they're kind of like talking about, like, you know, life and death and the future and everything, and why would you give yourself up for other people? You even have the guy who saves everybody and then it's just like, yo, we got to get the crap out of here. But, like, we got to go. I'm gone if you're not gone. We have that guy showing up. The shark guy, MVP. I believe he's an MVP. This man, he saw the chainsaw guy and he was just like, yo, you're my guy. I'm going to help you. And this man was the wingman of the century. This man was the wingman of the century, because this man, without the shark, Denji gets his butt slammed.
In terms of spoilers, I don't know what to say. I've only been in this anime's world for 72 hours, so I don't know what I could really say. But in terms of the way that the world is presented, I do like Genji's point of view, especially given his, like, age, his naivete. You know, he's still trying to get used to the world. His
what?
Naivete.
His naivety.
Denji's basically just a naive kid, and he's still trying to learn and experience the world that's not just how limited his circle was of just working and paying off a debt. And through this movie, you see his, at least, point of view start opening up a little bit, where it's like, hey, maybe things are a lot more than what I'm just simply assuming, or at least what I'm concluding. And to that note, that's kind of probably my biggest highlight of the movie, especially the story. After all that explosive gink-ing, this movie reminds me what I felt growing up. Vibrantly hair-colored women are dangerous. Enough said.
Let's look at Sakura. She's dangerously annoying.
You're mean. No. That was uncalled for.
The one thing about this anime, I feel like it does something like Dan is really good at. Dan is better, but it's really good at making irrelevant things seem seamless, right? You know what I mean? But Dan is better at it because it's a little bit more like all over the place, but it still makes sense for some reason. Well, like if I had to pick specific parts in the movie, I'll focus on the beginning first. In the beginning, it was slow, yes, but it was kind of, the reason why I liked it was because of the animation. If I ever seen somebody flex on animation that hard, like just that the bomb chick girl walking to her job, like, and they tie it back to when she was walking at the end, by the way. Crazy animation, her walking, and then you can tell the difference from her walking in the first part in the beginning opposed to the second part because she's rushing to get to him because she's in a rush. It's just that those subtle differences, like, to me, is one, insane. But two, the one thing I had, like, I guess I don't understand yet, that's kind of how it feels like when they go on the movie date, Denji and Makima. That made no sense to me. I didn't understand why we had to sit there for that long them watching bad movies. I thought they were secretly gonna, like, attack a devil or something that was like destroying people with movies. But I guess looking back on it now is to show like he doesn't really understand emotion, because like he didn't really get hit with emotion until the end. No, because from me remembering it is like they were watching all the movies and like him and her, they weren't really like interacting with the emotions that they showed. Well, opposed to everybody else in the audience was like laughing, crying, and all that stuff towards the movie, but they weren't. But then towards the end, at the very last movie when it was just them, he cried at like the very insignificant scene, and so did she. So it kind of showed like they had that something in common, and it felt real. It's like it almost like the fact that it was so insignificant and like normal to them, that's great, because I guess the way he grew up and the way I'm assuming she grew up similarly, where like they didn't know that compassion as human beings. So like I think that part is gonna, man, she's a manipulator and a half, bro. That lady's crazy. The fact that she showed that vulnerable side to him is gonna make him like go to her even more, even though he almost didn't at the end, right? But yeah, I just think it was a good movie. And like one thing, yeah, almost forgot. The one spoiler that I felt like tied everything together towards what's gonna go into the next arc is the fact that when they describe the bomb devil girl, I forgot her name. Oh, bro, it's literally the name of the movie. Reze. They give her some backstory very subtly about like she was like some laboratory kid in like Russia, or I think something like that.
Guinea pig in the Soviet Union.
Yeah, in the Soviet Union. It goes to show, when they say she's 16, but I don't understand how that works. I don't know what timeline they're in, because I'm pretty sure the Soviet Union is like pretty old.
It is pretty old. The Soviet Union dissolved in the early 90s.
Oh, but still, that's like a little, like if she was a kid then, like, yeah, but like it goes to show like they're probably like in the past a little bit in terms of like our timeline and theirs, but either way,
she old.
It'll foreshadow like the fact that they're gonna be going against a lot of crazy dudes, because if she's probably not even one of the crazier ones, or like there's probably gonna be crazier ones that were associated with that group that are gonna be at least just as strong, maybe even stronger. And I'm just like, this girl could destroy like the whole city and like barely trying. Imagine the main dude, the gun devil guy. And like, and then that, and like me thinking about it now, like, and that kind of translates into, especially with her dying at the end, it kind of translates into, yeah, the gun devil is portrayed as this bad thing that they're trying to fight against. But then you're starting to see some inkling of like the organization he's in is not as good as they say they are. So then now you're thinking, who's actually the good person or the good in the story? And at this point, it's kind of up in the air and like really gray, because now I'm assuming now we're gonna start seeing what the gun devil motives are, and he's gonna start questioning whether, well, I feel like he's not going to, but they're gonna try to make him question if he's on the right side, but he's gonna not care because he's a simp.
So to answer that point, my theory is that nobody is right, and he's just being
agreed.
He's just being that the gun devil is actually a bad guy, but so is that corporation as well. That they're both just bad people.
Everyone has their own agenda.
And I think at the end of the day, this is a story about a 16-year-old boy who was taken off the street and is being used, and he's just I think he's
a child soldier.
Growing.
That's what he is.
Growing part of it, and at the end is that he's gonna basically see that he's being used, and he's going to fight for himself.
He's basically a child soldier. That's what he is.
You got anything to add, Joseph?
Yeah, he's gonna say something about my
Can't wait till season 3.
No, what we're gonna say about the movie
season 2.
Yeah, right. Well, no, I mean the whole point, at least to me, of the movie theater thing was just to manipulate him. That's what it was. And if they both cried at the same moment, because Denji questioned if he had a heart or not, chances are Makima's the same way. Where she's just like, I don't really have a heart, but she's more experienced in that type of scenario in terms of using that sense to manipulate Denji. Because did she actually cry out of the movie? No. Denji saw her crying after he cried, to then affirm to further manipulate him. You know what I mean?
You think so? That'd be crazy.
Yes.
I can see that. She's that slick.
Women in charge, they're awesome, but they're scary.
The scariest. I'm not gonna hold you. When she pulled up with rats at the end, I was like, yeah, this chick could do.
I want you guys to comment down below. Let me know your rating for Chainsaw Man Reze arc. And also comment down below, is it better than the Demon Slayer movie, Infinity Castle Part 1? We would like to hear your opinions. You know where to do that. You can do that in the comments below. If you want to have a longer discussion with us, join the Discord. Frank is more than willing to prove to you that Demon Slayer was better. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to follow us on Discord, Spotify, on YouTube. Thank you. I'm Manny, and I would have fell for it.
I'm Frank, and I would definitely not have fell for it.
I'm Joseph. Go around and find out.
Oh, boy. Peace.